The start of that is Liam's passing. How has it affected you? How has it affected the club, I suppose?
Well, I think everyone, is absolutely, I suppose, shocked, because obviously we've known he's been very sick for the last 5 months since he came home from America. Everyone is aware that his family, particularly his wife and his 3 kids, and the two lads used to be at training quite a bit, Corey and Leo, when Liam was around. So and obviously his parents and brothers and people are close to him, and within the squad here there's a couple of lads who would have been very close to him, obviously, because from the local area. So it does, I suppose, put everything to perspective. And when you think of that, literally 3 years ago he came back from Australia to join us, played a full season with us, was part of the cup final, and played in the start of the cup final in 2016. It just shows you, it's hard to imagine that 3 years down the road how what's after happening. But so it's raw, and that's just I suppose the feeling amongst the club at the moment.
And playing for Cork City seemed to mean an awful lot to them.
Well, I think like any of the Cork lads, I suppose Liam had gone to the highest level, obviously with all the international caps. You don't play with Manchester United and Celtic, and so I think as he said himself at the time, going back to the press conference a number of years ago, that he wanted to come back home and finish with Cork City. And I remember at the time it was probably the biggest press conference that we ever had for any player since we came into the club. There's so much was the excitement, and but the most important thing about Liam was that he was so modest. Nothing ever went to his head. He came in every day, trained, lovely person, great attitude, but just a down-to-earth, humble guy. And the fact that he had played with massive clubs and he had played with Ireland, he never, you'd never think that from dealing with him. I think because he was so humble, I think that's the thing that we all remember him about.
Was there any talk maybe tomorrow's game will be postponed as a result?
No, from my gather, no. The game goes ahead, obviously, and obviously his funeral arrangements are there, so we'll deal with that over the next couple of days. And
will everyone be playing tomorrow? Will players be able to take compassionate leave as a result of this? Or?
Yeah, it looks like there'll be obviously one of his closest friends is Mark McNulty. So Mark won't travel, and other than that, a lot of the guys here, you have Garrod Morrissey, Gary Buckley, Alan Bennett, all those lads from that time. Johnny Dunleavy would have all been involved and played with them. But at the same time, part of the coaching staff, obviously John Cotter, Colin Healy, guys who have been from that area, very close in that surroundings, and then you'd have the other part of the coaching staff, Liam Carney, Dan Murray, all these lads. So but in terms of players, Mark probably is Mark certainly won't travel tomorrow.
John, the career of Millerhead, obviously Man United, Celtic, even getting promotion under like when Roy Keane was manager of Sunderland. Where in terms of of the all-time players in Cork, where would Liam Miller rank for you?
It's probably, to be fair, John, an unfair question, because you look at through the history of the club is in existence 33 years, and the club have gone through lots of talented players who've started through the club and have gone across, and players that have come back. And but I think you look at from what players have achieved to have played with the club. The fact that Liam had played with Celtic and United in particular, and had also played so many caps for Ireland, showed what a talented player he was. Obviously, when he came back to us, he was in the twilight of his career, and hoping to finish his last couple of seasons out with ourselves, and he came back and played in 2016, and then got an opportunity to go to the States as part of a player coaching role, which was a massive opportunity for him, and it was obviously an opportunity he had to take. So from that point of view, all we in the club is dealing with the guy that we had every day, who was just trained, phenomenal first touch, was probably the one player in our club that since I've come in, like, we've had talented players. Obviously Colin Healy was one of the most talented since since the management here have taken over. But Liam had a first touch that I don't think we have seen anyone have in the last 4 years. That was his touch was incredible. But at the same time, he was just a humble guy and trained every day, and there was no egos about the guy, or he was just down to earth guy, and that's what we remember him as.
So you could see that probably the tributes that have come in, like former teammates at Celtic, Man United, it just says everything that they're really doing it.
Oh, well, it does, because I suppose you don't get capped by your country unless you're a top player. You don't go from Celtic to Man United unless you're a top player. And remember when he went to Man United, he went when they were at the top, when they had Roy and Dennis, and they had all the other fellas, Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, all these guys. So he went there when they were at the top. So it was a phenomenal move for him at that stage of his career, and even when Liam was here, he often said that going into the club that time, the standard was so high. It was incredible. But it showed you how highly Ferguson rated him at that stage.
Will it make your task tomorrow that little bit more difficult? Because some of the lads will obviously Mark be left out, and some of the lads may be a little bit upset by the whole passing. Yeah,
there's two ways you can do it. Obviously everyone is disappointed, and I think what strikes people when something like this happens is that his immediate family and his kids, because his wife, they're very young people. Liam was so young, and the fact that all his kids are just so young, and outside the fact his parents are alive and all that. So but at the end of the day, it's we've prepared all week with a match on head on Sunday. This has been a blow to everyone, but at the same time, everyone was well aware within the squad that Liam was in a difficult position. So, but you can tomorrow, you'd hope that everyone would go out and give a performance. That if Liam was here himself, he would expect.
Yeah, probably an extra bit of pep. Fellas will go out and do a bit, maybe extra tomorrow, just in his honour or whatever. Well,
I don't think extra. I think these guys, in this club are honest, decent players who go out every time to win matches. But the best tribute you'd give Liam Miller is go out and play to the best of your ability, which you try to do every week anyway, and not to feel sorry for yourself, because certainly as a player that we've had the fortune of having here for a season, he wouldn't expect anything less than that, so he'd expect you to keep your high standards, and that's what you intend to do tomorrow as well.
Lots of changes in squads on both sides. John Dundalk have a lot of new players as well. Missing a few now tomorrow. I think Hoban is out, O'Donnell's out, Mountney is out, but they brought in one or two foreigners. Will it add to the challenge this year?
The most important thing is, I think both clubs have made a few changes. I'm not so sure who's in or who's out for them. At the end of the day, it's the game before the start of the season. The last couple of years they've been very competitive. We'd expect it to be that way. So both teams will have a number of changes and new players coming in. So it's about how quickly the teams settle, and there's a lot of talk about the foreign players they have brought in, that they're very, very good. So but I keep saying our league is a tough league, and so we'll get a better idea tomorrow. But at the end of the day, from our own point of view, we've had a very good pre-season, and it's a great game to have 5 days before the opening of the league, and we're looking forward to it.